Hi, welcome to NCERT CBSE Class 6 History. Chapter 1 What, Where, How and When. The idea of this video series is that if you have a lot of text to remember, then if you revise each line of the text with a simple question for each line, then you will remember the whole text in detail. So in this video, we will revise the section of the first chapter, Where Did People Live? The first question is, people lived along this river bank in ancient times. And the options are Mahanadi, Ganga, Narmada, Krishna. Your time begins now. And the answer is Narmada. Question 2. The earliest people who lived along the Narmada valley were hunters, gatherers, crop growers, hunters and gatherers. Your time begins now. The answer is hunters and gatherers. Question 3. Women and men first began to grow crops at Indus, Garo Hills, Suleiman and Kirtar Hills, Vindhya Hills. Your time. And the answer is Suleiman and Kirtar Hills. Question 4. Women first grew crops dash years ago. The options 12,000 years, 10,000 years, 8,000 years, 6,000 years. Your time. And the answer is 8,000 years ago. Question 5. Dash crops were grown at Suleiman and Kirtar Hills. The options wheat, rice, barley, wheat and barley. Your time. And the answer is wheat and barley. Next question. Animals were first reared at Indus River, Garo Hills, Suleiman and Kirtar Hills, Ganga River. Your time. And the answer is Suleiman and Kirtar Hills. Next question. These animals were reared at Suleiman and Kirtar Hills. Options sheep, goat, cattle, all of the above. Your time. And the answer is all of the above. Next question. The people of Suleiman and Kirtar Hills lived in towns, villages, cities, forests. Your time. And the answer is villages. Early agriculture developed in Vindhyas, Suleiman and Kirtar Hills, Garo Hills, all of the above. Your time. And the answer is Garo Hills. Question 10. Rice was first grown in which direction of the Vindhyas? Options north, south, east, west. And your time begins now. The answer is north. Question 11. The other areas where agriculture developed besides Suleiman and Kirtar Hills are Garo Hills, Vindhyas, Indus River, Garo Hills and Vindhyas. Your time. And the answer is Garo Hills and Vindhyas. Next question. Tributaries are large rivers, small rivers, streams, smaller rivers that flow into a large river. Your time, and the answer is smaller rivers that flow into a larger river. Question 13. The river with five tributaries to the northwest of India is Indus, Satluj, Ganga, Narmada. Your time, and the answer is Indus. The earliest dash flourished along the banks of Indus and its tributaries. Options: towns, villages, cities, agriculture. Your time, and the answer is cities. Question 15. The first cities flourished on the banks of Narmada and its tributaries, Ganga and its tributaries, Indus and its tributaries, Brahmaputra and its tributaries. Your time, and the answer is Indus and its tributaries. Question 16. Cities developed along the Indus and its tributaries about dash years ago. Options: 2500 years, 8000 years, 4700 years, 4500 years. Your time, and the answer is 4700 years. Question 17. After Indus, cities next developed along options: Narmada and its tributaries, Ganga and its tributaries, the sea coasts, Ganga and its tributaries, and the sea coasts. Your time, the answer is Ganga and its tributaries and the sea coasts. Question 18. Cities developed along the Ganga and its tributaries and the sea coasts about dash years ago. The options are 2,500 years, 8,000 years, 4,500 years, 6,300 years. Your time, and the answer is 2,500 years ago. Question 19. The first big kingdom was Vajji, Magadha, Kuru, Sonbhadra. Your time, and the answer is Magadha. Magadha was to the dash of the Ganga. The options are north, south, east, west. Your time, and the answer is south of the Ganga. Next question. Magadha is now in the state of Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Madhya Pradesh, Jharkhand. Your time to choose. And the answer is Bihar. Question 22. Throughout, people dash from one part of the subcontinent to the other. And your options are fought wars, reared animals, grew crops, travel. Your time. And the answer is traveled from one part of the subcontinent to another. Question 23. Dash made traveling journeys dangerous at times. Options: hills and high mountains, deserts, rivers and seas, all of the above. Your time to choose. And the answer is all of the above. Question 24. Men and women traveled because of Options: search of livelihood, escape from natural disasters, conquering others' lands, trade, religious teaching slash instruction slash advice, adventure and discovery, all of the above. Your time. And the answer is all of the above. Next question. It was difficult to move across the subcontinent because the hills, mountains, and seas form natural frontiers, countries, borders, none of the above. Your time to choose. And the answer is natural frontiers. The movement of people across frontiers into the subcontinent led to options: wars, confusion, enrichment of cultural tradition, none of the above. Your time. And the answer is enrichment of cultural tradition. Question 27. Over 100 years, movement across frontiers led to enriching cultural tradition by options: new ways of carving stone, composing music, cooking food, all of the above. Your time. And the answer is all of the above. Question